My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever said to yourself, I would love to invest in real estate, but I'm just too darn busy. I don't have the time for this. I don't have the bandwidth for it. Well, that excuse is going to get completely blown out of the water today because our special guest is Dr. Tudor Francu, who is not only a very, very busy person in his professional life. He's a doctor, but he's also a very exceptionally active real estate entrepreneur who has built up a very impressive portfolio, I believe, of somewhere close to 5,000 units, if I recall correctly. And he's not just an LP or a very passive investor. He's an active investor. He's a general partner. He's a syndicator. He's finding deals. He's helping to manage properties. He's doing investor relations. He's got a lot on the go. So Dr. Tudor Francu, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate the introduction. I hope your audience is going to benefit from our discussion.
I know they will. So first things first, I don't want to spend a lot of time on the backstory because you have a very interesting one, but we got to get to the nuts and bolts here. But I do want to know, what was it for you personally that sparked your interest in real estate in the first place?
Well, let me give you a little background. I don't want to take too much time, but I'm an immigrant. I came here in the United States from Romania after the communist curtain fell. And
so early 90s, late 80s,
early 90s.
Early
Yes.
90s. Got it. Yeah.
You know, I was trying to get my foot on the ground here and learn a little bit of the financial system. I had no idea what's going on. I didn't know what a credit or debit card means. So I educate myself reading a lot of books in the beginning. And then what made it out for me in real estate is I set up my shop, so to speak, my house around Washington, D.C. And I had an opportunity to participate in one of I would say, the first meetings Robert Kiyosaki had in Northern Virginia. Was a webinar, was a weekend webinar. And I went there knowing nothing about real estate, and kind of opened my mind. It was a completely different approach. Like you probably know by now, he is well known of kind of reversing the whole
your house is not an asset, that kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly. And
this would have been like the late 90s by this time, is that correct?
Yes, it was late 90s. I think it was 2000,
yeah,
2001, something like that.
Got it. Yeah.
And you know, it kind of opened my eyes and said, you know, this is something that I need to look into. And that's how I started. I started playing cash flow game.
Yeah.
I started networking with people that were doing that. And little by little, you know, you educate yourself and you start investing, because the main thing that I realized is that, like he said, you need to start doing things, not only read about them.
So let me ask you a question. Did you immigrate to the States already a doctor? Did you become a doctor after you immigrated?
I finished my medical school in Romania.
Okay.
So I was technically a doctor, but nobody recognized me here as a doctor. So I had to do all kinds of bunch of stuff. When I came over, I had to change my visa to be able to work legally, and you know, finally found a residency position. So I did my residency in United States, learned the language. You know, I mean, it was a whole new planet for me at that time. But I had nothing to lose, right? So it's a concept that I kept with me over the years, and the mindset that made me accomplish what I accomplished until now.
That is beautiful. All right. Well, I love thank you for sharing the backstory. So what was the first investment property deal that you did?
Yes. So I went ahead and bought a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom little house in Baltimore.
Okay.
and I rent it out, and I don't know, kind of semi-fix it myself, putting all kinds of, painting and all this stuff that you need to set up a house for rental. And that was my first step towards real estate investing. And at that time, I had a little cash flow over, each month out of it. I applied exactly what Robert Kiyosaki praised in
Mhm.
that webinar, in that meeting over the weekend. So it was nothing, I realized that it's nothing that I need to reinvent the wheel here. I just need to find the right people that do the same thing I wanted to do and replicate their well-proven recipe.
Yeah.
And connect them with the more people I can in that kind of business. So that's what I did. This was my first house. I pay cash for it. I didn't even know how to leverage that. But it was an interesting start. I mean, we all start somewhere. That's why
Yeah, most likely.
I want to invite everybody to kind of open its mind and say, how can I start investing in real estate? There's no rocket science. This is not a college degree you need to get or a
It's not as
PhD.
tough as it's not as tough as medical school.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a mindset game. That's
Mm.
all it is. And the more you network, the more knowledge you have from some other people or books or podcasts or whatever. Realize that at that time when I started doing this, there was no internet,
Mhm.
there was no meetup, there were barely any books I can read about it. So there was all like spread of worth, basically. Who what they did, talk to them. It was a person-to-person meeting that you get to get the knowledge to start doing this. So it was a little difficult to start in this thing. Nowadays, it's like piece of cake. I mean, if you want to start, you have every single resource in the world that you can apply.
Well, let's take a look at before and now. Well, let's look at the beginning. Let's look at now. So you started off with that one bedroom, one bath house in Baltimore. Fast forward 20 some years later, what does your real estate portfolio look like today?
Yes. Um, so right now, I have about 5,000 units in multifamily apartment buildings that I'm invested in. From that, probably around 800 of them are as a co-general partner. So I'm in the team, I'm in the active management of those buildings.
Uh-huh.
And I also have still a couple of buildings in Baltimore that I manage myself, and it's kind of a nostalgic thing, I would say.
Multifamily properties, or you still got
Multifamily,
that
yeah.
one bedroom, one bath house that you're
Yeah,
happy
no,
with?
I sold all the single family homes I accumulated over the years. There are probably around 30 of them, and kind of, convert them to multifamily.
Okay, very good. So we were talking a little bit off camera before the show about your passion for showing other, especially medical professionals, the light when it comes to real estate investing. Why do you think more doctors and professionals like that, um, high income, busy kind of professionals, are not involved in real estate?
The reason they're not involved in real estate is because I think they're scared about what they think real estate investing is. They think real estate investing means, oh, I have a tenant that's going to call me in the middle of the night. I need to take care of his toilet, and I need to paint the walls, and they don't have the key, and I need to go there in the middle of the night to do some repairs and all this stuff. And it's not like that. Especially now, you have property management companies that they can take care of that. You can hire, a handyman or help you with like day-to-day operations. And also there is this beautiful passive um, avenue that they have right now where they can invest in an asset, not being involved actively in it, and still get a good cash flow and the profits at the end. So I think most people need to realize that real estate investing is not doesn't mean you need to take a mallet and a nail in your hands and start building a house or repair whatever the tenant said you need to repair. It's not like that. It can be multiple
Or
ways
it,
to
it
make
doesn't
money.
have to be like that.
It
That's
doesn't have to be like that. There are multiple avenues in real estate investing that you can take. And for me, what worked, I started in single family homes and I consolidate into multifamily apartment investing, which I think it's a great way to scale the business up and compress the time basically that I have available in my life
Mhm.
to make the most out of my money and my wealth and my freedom, basically, my financial freedom.
Wonderful. I love that explanation. So if somebody is a busy professional, a doctor, what have you, and they want to kind of dip their toe into real estate, but they are afraid, they're nervous about that. What recommendations would you give to those kind of people to actually make it happen, to take that first step?
Yeah.
Because there's almost too much information out there. If you Google real estate, you jump on YouTube, you chat
Yes,
GPT it, you're going to be overwhelmed with, the opposite of what you and I saw in the early 2000s, where there's hardly anything out there. Now it's almost like there's too much, right? So
that's right.
what would you recommend somebody in that position do to
Yeah.
get started?
So I would say for a busy professional, I would say you need to, first of all, ask yourself what exactly you want from real estate investing. Do you want cash flow? Do you want to park your money and get an appreciation at the end? Do you want tax advantages? What is your primary why? Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Then second point would be, what do you think you are more comfortable to put your money in? Is it more comfortable to maybe some people, want to fix and flip houses? Some people want to invest in short-term rentals and Airbnb their property and just take advantage of that avenue. Some people still buy single-family homes and they rent them long-term and they're very happy with that. And some people go my route where, they put their money in multifamily. It's a scalable concept. It's a much, I would say, easy way to invest because you have a much better leverage of a team to take care of your money. It's not just yourself. And some people just do, funds or, whatever they want to like invest in a fund, for example, and, they don't have much control of what's going on. Is like stock market, but it's what you're comfortable with. And then from that point on, you just have to follow and find people that did that before you.
Mm.
There are many successful people in each branch of real estate investing. You just need to network, find the right people, and ask for advice and mentorship and follow them and see how they do it. It's not a rocket science, again. You
Mm-hmm.
just need to replicate the system. For example, one of the things that I did and I had experience in single family homes over the years, but when I thought about multifamily, I didn't think I was very comfortable of like migrating to that area. And I got myself a mentor right away. And I think it was the best thing I ever did. I learned a lot in a very short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Paying him because that's what money do. They earn time and freedom for you. So I prefer to pay someone who can tell me in a couple of hours what I need to do instead of starting to figure out myself over the years.
Yeah.
And that was probably the biggest investment, the greatest investment I ever did, because your own financial education is the primary way you can get in real estate investing.
Yeah. Very, very, very well said. So are you still a practicing doctor?
Yes, I love to still keep my hands busy with my medical practice. I have two groups right now that I manage, and I still go there for a couple of days a month. And I still have my relationships. I don't want to lose that part of my life,
Nice.
but my primary focus right now is in real estate investing.
Very interesting. So what does your real estate professional life look like? What do you spend most of your time doing with your real estate investing business?
Yes. Well, I'm pretty busy right now because I have about several apartment building deals that I'm managing actively. I'm
So
not talking about my
property
passive
management or
investments.
deal general partner management of getting them
Correct.
up and running. Got it.
Yes. So most of them are in Texas, in the Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston area,
Mhm.
and I'm very busy with that. I have to go there for site visits, keep weekly meetings with property management companies, keep an eye on financials, continually underwrite the deals and see what works, what the expenses are, keep in touch with the investors, communicating, almost every month with them about all these properties. It's a fun game for me. It's something that I enjoy. It's very exciting. Things are not going well all the time because that's life.
Yeah,
But you find solution, you pivot in different directions based on the market, and it's an interesting game to play, I would
that
say.
is wonderful. Perfect. Well, time flies when we're having fun here, Dr. Francu. So if people want to connect with you and find out more, if you only had one place to send them, where would you recommend people go to connect with you and find out more about what you're up to?
Yes, I think the best way to connect with me is through my website, which is the name of my company. It's Stellar Multifamily .com, and you can email me there. You can contact me there. I'm also on social media, pretty well, easy to find, Stellar Multifamily. And I'd be happy to, start talking to people about different things that they need to learn and educate themselves.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show and inspiring all of those busy professionals who don't think they have time to get involved in real estate. You have just proven that yes, they can.
I hope so. Thank you very much, David.
All right, everybody, take care, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now, at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.